OKFM 101.7.
Ya say yan kuma twetwe na se na no pay. Executive Secretary di ma ASEPA. Mr. Thompson ewa amano so a yare ni mie enne ya wada yi ade a chi bia nkoma twetwe ya no. Eyewra ma che. Ano pay boko de. Adegoja mi bisa sa ne se no a mo picketing yi ane hia adaje because mo begina mo na so bretenten na koda ye sorry ye apo mu boko de.
For so that's it, you know, much is here to her.
Mpachotimenka. Hello.
Yes, Metonka. Mpachotimenka.
Afraid they metonka pa.
Exactly. Okay. The point here, I buy say for the first one. Now what it says you can free your man and you have no same piano or edges.
OKFM
101.7. Our Ministry of Finance. Now what you need, in fact, a bro now what you Enra, you got tower chino. Now Enra knew 8 days since they started the picketing. If you say Omukoi, almost started picketing, first day no Muko Hono. And I kind of for that type of wanting bit your manual and no one no. One few mobile Emma, Yama minimum cocra 4. If you know show more, Nancy crash at the air, Dima Omo. And what did you ho or Macron, Jim, or Massum or Mino in every capacity, various capacities, no Massum or Mino. Na or Macron, Jim, na say, and or Mino. Any chiawonka or soma their sumo mino. And until na akuhia say yen mabunu yen so ye sorry na ye got tawo mochi because na ye hunu say ase ye jai wo mu wo nko a tebia no makogu ho wo nkogu so a obi ampi emfi finance ministry no mo mekasa ebebusa omompo say sabi mapo mo te sen na ahoden wo ho again na mo hia asem ne sen obi anfi wo mo na mo ma pikete wo hwa ye no ikudu ho ye sen mo di keta ho etro mo nyenti a ye so ya sorry abi free if you say beta won achi because you say e kan ntu ana kasre omo ye ma me no sabi ochime bi yen si be nyina ba yese wo mo yen nyini be dru be o ma dru na yen pese say na ya ban bi e be fa so yen pese kwan wi e na ya ban bi e be fa so enunti na enu aye sorry ya ye call Ministry of Finance ko ta o machi e ko mo mu issue kakra say do mo so pekete na say e breba mo so nya bibi e de account ano. But for the first time in a long while, almost certificate, you know, the Minister for Finance say, "Mabunu, ya bet time a minimum cheap, and no more yet no. Who pay babonting, and no more becasa, and near becasa." And no, and some other minister not coming in.
Thompson.
Yes, Minia.
You tell you waka babesi. Yeah, say that means say 50 last week Monday now wamuko yeri na all those finance minister say owo hwa when pie en be fi omumpo no awo mopane anto enra
Debbie won pie committee o manu asem
but we were around there
oh And you know, debt exchange program. Let me address
last week, former Chief Justice Crown so call him.
Nana can offer us at the ministry hall. When people could be almost saying, dear, some echo. And I say, oh, more to say. And no numpono. What? And no numpono. What chase a yaba one officer no more casano. Or catch or small be say, Nipacono, MF3 or more, Emra on the office. And you catch a man and said, Debbie. Some sorry, no more. Not just a kind of threat. I want for Boamamo. Because above Franny to the Naco Penny Nasi. And your penny in a sorry crab of Franasi. Can of Rat, I said, beside the penny, mamma, no more in a fan mono muguhono. It is all the catch Roma, as I want one anteba, anymore, even Generian so, if you know, acquire for so bread, and some free because of a more sicker. And yes, because on to be almost car and after almost the BF will be a home. On one Casasica or my pre as some or many Fifrenia. And no amount one cassa equal to an amount by and can work on Kawasuma say MF or more and run the office.
Other a rancher name about what Moko time, I mean, Moko, dear Ben, that's from Kwamoko, ye, ma be a obo shake a
Say that Ocean Ministry, Hona. Say, Yamaminum, Sabi, any papanum, Sabi, Mufi, Queni Mukaka. And the energy no shed and Nihosa. Or more two national anthem, no crana, which is almost a near you shall. But then I come on not just a coma, a Janan Whiting. National anthem, crana yet to Yanara assassin, crana yet to no to miss a job, did not voice no, and why it ding or now, environment or assessor, you will feel the energy there because now, and yet, Nipa and my minimum be we are very strong able men. And while winning, such strong able men, must say up in front of a state facility, the Minister of Finance, definitely, it won't crack the bank of whom.
Does it mean, say, my dear, I are more they are quiet?
Yes, Omotivo, Sabi. Omunfi kwenimo. Ahodini ho. It's a plastic chair, no more tenaso, no more placard. And one no.
We are quite as a sebi. We need friend Kawasimi here, not to train the Kanya or Musu and Yabre. Sapper pepe. But we know, you're quiet night. You know, more ectonium, you know, ecto national anthem. You know, a region mura. If your moon crying say, a baby, and you say, Nanka, your pesenka, or more kai or more mine, because and car. You don't and come in up about Mufi, Monukaniji, or Makumemo. In other jurisdictions, your social protection for the aged, we are Uko Humijimoa. And Cocrafone Mirafu Sebi, or more bus card free, or more far bus free, train free. Your medications need to go to the hospital for free. And this is you need a social protection plan, maybe. Pressure grow or more neto, diabetes grow or more neto, if you know baby, or more rent, or more in baby, or more. If you call a school fees are supported, because maybe a or mama and a man to be cry at your munching or more show. I had this one at also. It is a my may be a more. O my look to me, some more chrono. O more Cassandra, or my stamp, a difficult to a binding me faculty to be so and funny sound to so. Tom say, I had a person, Bimuka can be said, and she ASEPA name, and ranting him about Moko Ma, Yama, no more support, no. Moko more support to say, I buy NTA dear or more can one now say. Most moko as individual bondholders are the same one from money from home.
Debbie, your cost are buying tea. Say, I buy in poverty or more. Not a yet, say, Yamabu. The Abanka at the Kanokra, so yes to say, Sebi, Yang, Wafai Sikakura, at the Koye Bonda, at the Edikoye Nadia. Sebi, yes, say, you won't come with ye, tell you one more thing. At least. Ubetimi ya juma o ye babu ubetimi ya juma kakra sa enya because ultimate to Japadie, na say, na yera, swatias here, BBA Timisi. But where we empenning for? And you say, Omunia who didn't put the acquire Juman pass certificate be part of it. And me number one. Number two, says you can't ma, or my pomo didn't sem ever talk because in no mobile nom, in your nom be bia ever a problem, my woman. It's almost a critical situation. And Lieutenant, you say, young say we problems were hard here, but young fire problems in two chain. Na young kosher, na abain, exempted, sa, your mamma no papa no me in 3 issues more. Because you see, a nation that does not honor its heroes is not worth dying for. Your mammy will your papa no me heroes. Or my no, it be a man 40 years, 50 years. Or my some of mine no, alcohol game. It's the air dana or mine.
Okay.
It's a name, a Danny at the moment. It's a losing a quarter, but we take kind of for attack. The first time the more can you know, and go by one cast and phobia. You can say, at again, and yet compulsory. Whopa, who beat me, a you, one free move, whopa. Men found with shame and yet by force. But the Canoforata and Tremo and Tremaman any papa nominee say. Exemption, no, you will know. Your exemption by the issuer and exemption and voluntary exemption. Exemption by the issuer is not the same as exemption by or voluntary exemption. Issue are not, and that's a buy now all in the debt exchange program. The buy the case, okay, that go for we, almost here, to almost cano, may yes, the debt exchange program be a 20, or more can be. It may make provisions for them under government debt service obligation for 2023. Into you know, the bond, no people are a buying big here. And a difference there. One casa would say, now say, my exemption me home. Because the one casa will exemption one, a dear friend of voluntary exemption now. Even though, say, a buying our obligation, say also chia with there. Or bonds in a cut out a valid, a year, you might be their court, buying chia. But what debate do bank? A buying to mean chia, a buying this kind of debate chia, because we are making provisions for you under the 2023 budget. Under the line item debt service obligation for 2023, a buyer making provisions for you. Because you this whole debt exchange program and say a buying a car or they are buying intimate it was so to say can be so no or move a can be quite anymore. But all to say a can be so no move a can be a quite no. A can be over when you are concerned said the because that kind of who here because it's a go because on the cost side. And go for the bree Emma a buying a yomo free San Kofono a buyer making provisions for them under government debt service obligations for 2023.
Don't say where the mutual may transfer of Fatchame. I want to know and community of us say. Omwa ye exempt woman no. Edian woman yeah and we're buying new one. I buy where dear don't touch me a no go area. And only the young to me fire and sanka. Naturally baby a where emerenti bond holders the ideas are becoming.
Maybe a lot of thinking went into the exemptions. And Abano just relied on some threats. What they say, public service workers or on the cost strike. If Abine almost a bit Abine almost a can on the cost strike.
Especially Ghana Medical Association.
You see, Abine just succumbed to some of these threats. What you say. But in considering all these threats, there are bigger threats, which is the lives of our agents. And forget about strike. What about the life of our aged people? Yeah, my name is Papa. No, my son, my aqua home game. Woman's way. Woman life is critical. And so we exempt will be because we be striking. You know why exempt? No. Now, yeah, my and your Papa no. Almost comedy to Ndru. When wow, the face when you can Antonio Druna. Said the one where I didn't quite mention that. Na said the upper say mammy found them or move basabasana said then. It's not just said we want to wipe out the aged class in our society. Is that what we want to do? We want to sacrifice the aged? And no one person abandon say you don't treat your aged people like that. You need to set good examples. Say age is grateful. In any way and monyam na unyine a soma or some of mine and home ban for so because o mine on the team mount or man the normal be go a said ya I want to mouse so oko nkokra brim and I won't pay you more because a baby in you be do so anything am I near break that in the same way your day ya no atumbi na ye tie mammy no much but we should take an frat and say more can frat has absolutely no intention to offer say we ye mammy no free that debt exchange program and no idea a hard getting degree in fact and no but a cast sense of a kind of one and some time back when one day tough in some that na a better at again on one casani program now you see you see trust trust can for rap and casano when you nipa ujinu dia eyi yen nipa ujinu eyi when say a buying on one casa debt exchange program ya oyi or starting program no can for rap say a category of Ghana, ye did domestically or restructuring in 137 billion. So 137 billion, no? A consisted of CD denominated bonds, all CD denominated bonds, which is about 126 billion, ESLA PLC bonds, which is about 8.3 billion, and then Dache bond, which is about 801 million Ghana cedis. Who can in Abuma 137 billion? The capital annexation for us always starting now 137 billion. And you're saying that California, a year debt exchange program you read yes. What's the one 85%? 85% no. Okay, capital our restructure. What's the academy in 97 billion? From 137 billion to 97 billion. It's a California at the 97 billion, no, and I calculated participation rate of 85% now. Meanwhile, the 137 billion cities na year can I that one not calculate here 63%. Media, we started program no. What they figures about ministry na website. This we never numbers na me book and rather na numbers. We started restructuring. No, we say a car you did 137 billion. 137 billion on our restructure. All restructure can be here. We say a car was 97 billion. Now we're 85%. So what happens to the rest of the debt? You see, it is 85%. Look, I also achieving and you know, and when you and of the parliament, I could control. You see, it's said people we can say, "Oh, bond, you know." Yeah, exemption, but a buy betia, if you would put a paper no, the minister of Faco Bank, na buy betia, who says any pay on canoe credit. And nothing I am a media upon him to mean this kind of attending, because one canoe credit. You see, and on one in pay say, or making any provisions for them under the 2023 budget. On one can send him. But, or person or dada, Yama minimum to you, no more the two, no more yet being continuous. But some of us don't have time the paper. Or they call bank. Bank is a minute scam the amount because I'm buying for a scam. I'm buying to a bond. No. So now, the draw ultimate talk. The rent ultimate here. The again ultimate talk. The number of schools ultimate here. Now I can find in Jenny and I bet to opinion so. Not a bill. Now me I nyadoma no opinion. What I can Jenny Mokoni create.
Don't see.
Hey, in your poor mind.
I don't know a big sergeant say. Said your workers as a Urakin Ofori Atta, or dada, yama, no ya papa no me. It probably may be, say, or moon pussy are buying enough. Bema abandon so many abrepa, I be crass at justice and Kebeya. court action kura emrem said the beya abani be hu say indeed eni braba
court action dey yenu ho yenu ho kra
na dia ekuko okoyi a over a week afena yewra ke no Ofori Atta aba enu ma bekasa ena ba obekasa yenso so ese da wo kire se na wo wote ensem ne nse nkran ni da so obi animu no obi bi se enkopem ebreben ena anopa kwesi anwumere ye maame ne papa nom ebekwa akwa tena finance ministry wa bra ebekwa akwa exercise in futility
ena me purchase afi na ban started program no debt exchange program no aban no ena eye we no e appeal ena sebe ye maame no mo ka so mo ntimi mpusi aban no enough e de no monye sebe wo mo nto mo funa daka ena o mo nefuna daka no mo koda finance ministry wa na sebe because o mo nya hoden sebe o mo jena pati ase o mo nya hoden so enti bibie no betima ye sonko enti yen enya se ye gin entopa no ye koma wo mo pati ase because o mo ntimi ye jaw mo ko a o mo ntimi unless ye pese ye mass barrier ema enkokrafo ni ndofo obo kroma enya saa dia o mo ntimi you see court me there after program ni nyina echi no se nipa no tam the bond local bank na bank na echi a e ho na wo betimi akọ I want to say default. I'm say you know, nipa no so restructure a car with it. What you say? On can't also intimate here. Or you obey no that say. Would you to my best sign? Would you to my member sign? After the program, no. Or more man yan to money na. So bet ma ko bank to mo ko jo musika. O mo ko no mo say an ko musika. Wo bet ma ko mo ho abom. E ga ban no ko court. O mo ko court a. No muti bema abane japadia yebeton ye diskana ma omo this a jubilee house plan also your ton a yebeton yebe ya public option say obi do kana de no court na court ma judgment you can procure for other audits like Ghana Share audits no what they call banks say nipa no account be at the bank be a oko na bank no the account information no break court no na court say secure them ye gini finche oka the nipa no show properties na wa attach properties no so attach no wa the properties should the Ghana buy one properties be we krom ha say jubilee house is we as the son at least yeah so $100 million you benya say the church account for nika what you say enti say aban nya pade na also ye ton a ye be ton ye dia ma wo mo and they do what ye be encourage all the people who are affected. We'll put all of them together, encourage them to seek redress at the court.
Now, and command where the Yandanimra Afanua say, Sadia Modomo Huako Batema, Menom near Papa no Boa Womi. Strategy for baby and Titunia Sipa, Modeba, National Anthem, ne, and Yum Tuani, Didio, our finance minister, and I say, Tradition to mum.
Enra yeko tawo mechi ya mo ma si ache say tawo mechi anytime there ye hwe animu edu bebe o se abaye do o se yo mom na ban na anya enne emsenwa speaker to on frɛ wo mo enne emse o mo ne ye frɛ ni sen enne o mo ni minister no se hia enti ye hwe na se enko ya yenye arise Ghana ye be mobilize mabuna wo krom ha nyina ya ye o ye select sie e de ti aban no ne yen se betimi aye de ata o machi no edu be be also o mko court so ye be boa se mranimfo ne ye be boa se adwuma no so ne ye be boa o mo ni nyina no ye be boa o mo ata o machi be bi o mefa bia no ye pese ma menom ne papa nom ti afie se e kon we enye o mo kon akon e ye nyina ye kon se be ta o machi no mako
option say obi emesan no na ye bisa say ese obi kwasan yan sunsan so ne say
o kwasan ye say abai no terms and conditions what you atom for example so ukuta extra PLC bond no bond debi na o kwasan na o je fofora abai interest say usika no be lose to 63%. Inti no what you atom say abai no conditions or the amount no the new bonds na aban issue no eno na what replacing your old bond with a new bond nti no only right bill but the one for sign a say old bond dey valid who da sukuta a contract only aban no wo the one is as one sign a say a new aban debt exchange program na why ni nyina emfa wo and can be if aban no e wo an obligation to pay you when your bond matures. But the upper sign, a what they are buying new terms and conditions not from, it's only right to be able.
Now, Thompson, I did say Boba through the aged Eco Packet of Finance Ministry for beyond 1 week. Crown. And because a ma money in your dimbone. I buy no one nim we na.
Well, you know, can be. The Dimbonia, any institution so bonia, enya or mind in account in a can for a tenra. Obepa mucho say, Omunda Peketeno, now Omun free ho. What you say? Omun free ho so, yet your Macomaso, Adiamo Muso, and so say when yet. In 10 years, no, say.
OKFM.
But fine, or chin it twice here. Or chin say, oh, you need. We need to know on it too. And I was saying, yes, because we are talking about the lives of our agent in society. The agent is part of the vulnerable groups in society. At every point in time, we must seek to protect their interests. When a common sense, maybe later I was saying, buying and put money do, sir. The man for Prafoku Tomo Poma and Nantico Finance Ministry for 8 days. I mean, how insensitive and wicked can you be? Unkwa wakoma a prince at the Ankoma na your bo, Akoma na down when I bo. Ah, Nkokrafoku Tapoma, Nante, Merwafo, Kutapoma, Ebnante, Finance Ministry 8 days with a mint or mocha. Again,
Now, where the Ukraine, the midi a jown say abai a year debt restructuring. Ordinance a coca bond no, and none the last trump card say one fan and son car on to me free, because someone which your home.
Debbie, or 6 I want Yakomuno, or only option is of the IMF. And IMF for normal conditions. Say, a cana de no, a cana broso. Eti say the be ya this is debt restructuring. But debt restructuring no, IMF one can't tell almost a woman say, on men basa say. Because debt restructuring no, and your monkwana may be pay. Countries be breayebi. Almost as a catcher almost a monko. No monko sia countries or my year debt restructuring maybe no. Mon debt restructuring it be 2 years, 3 years. It be in fact the one factor debt restructuring between 4 to 6 months. No person with 3 weeks restructuring. Debt restructuring, go for sika. No person with 3 weeks. You see, so that is what is creating the problem. And then debt restructuring is a problem. But a question can affect more faster. And increasing the problem we are facing now. They are failing to learn from the best, from the people who have done it and have achieved, have been successful at it.
And ya Jamadia, one more no more grant as you.
They don't understand debt restructuring. Meaning, a debt restructuring is a very tedious technical exercise. You speak to the IMF guys. It's from sharp guys. Consultants shouldn't even be the one leading. You should have got technical experts who are good at weighing risk, placing premium on bonds and assets, calculating and what we call categorizing all the bonds into the various categories of bondholders. Because the bonds are not the same. A bond that matures in the next 6 months is not the same as a bond that matures in the next 5 years or the next 10 years. So, you in a debt restructuring, you put these class of bondholders into various groups according to their maturity dates. so that short-term bondholders, people whose bonds are maturing in the short term, are given different treatment. Long to medium-term bondholders are given different treatment. Long-term 30-year bondholders are given different treatment. And when we finish, you issue a new paper to cover these individual treatments that you've given them. It's a very technical exercise. If you speak to the guys at the IMF, they will tell you that what they are doing, straight jacket haircut, make sure in the next 5 years, 10%, next year make sure 5%, next year make sure 30%. Is that how to do a debt restructuring? Is the money for you? Bank. This is people's investment, people's life savings we are talking about. You don't get up and do as you please. There are processes and procedures you must follow. Internationally accepted procedures you must follow. Countries on here, is that how Singapore did their debt restructuring? Countries on my year, 99% participation rate. Is that how they did it? Until Ghana here debt restructuring, the lowest ever participation rate country be our debt restructuring only 99%. Ghana, 85%. And Ukraine 83%. Every country who has done a debt restructuring have achieved at least 99% participation rate. One 63%, each one will say 85%. And you are still failing to listen to advice, failing to listen to the technical and advice and experts who know about these things. You see,
Nti we na nucha say, would there be a light at the end of the tunnel?
There is no light at the end of this tunnel. Unless we switch to a different tunnel. This particular tunnel, there's no light at the end of it. It's pure darkness. And I've said, this year is going to be the most difficult year for the people of this country. I've said this. It's going to be a very difficult year. Ghanaians will brace themselves up because I want to say bad this year, no. And I want to it because one more, sabi, back to say. Back to say. I don't know what coma. I don't know what Bupun will go, my son said.
Okayfm 101.7.
And no more Ankasa do Macoma pay, and no more dear mine way. It's the ever balance, I'm not like a share and ever at the Google also.
That's the man who has to pay.
Mr. Madam.
I was for your name, Mr. Thompson, Executive Secretary, Dima ASEPA, and Abonkomoi. Now, dear Kofan Komoi by Yenra, as usual, Pensioners Bondholders Association. Still, no one say 20 years in Yaya Chess 20. I'm talking Finance Ministry. I got now, say, baby, I won't know Mujina say, I buy NTO Mumo soon. One more how no money. Na yena maba wane mrantie ASEPA no ekwotai wo machi say ade ne ka ne ntu na akasre sentia wo mko ye ho nkomo na yabo no
Okayfm 101.7